Welcome back, YouTube. This is Acid Root. So this is part 26 of the Super Mario World playthrough. So in this particular episode, we get a little bit further in Bowser Land as far as it's going to go. Just kind of the concept, basically getting up to like the final two castles in the game, Castle 7, and then the final Bowser Castle stage as far as this pitch is going to go. Now, at least one of those castles is not that difficult, but I don't remember Castle 7 as far as those pitch is going to go. We'll just have to see about it there, but it's just within the aspect of saying that that's the last bit of wrap up here. So just to check out, if you paid attention to episode 25 at the beginning of that one, it's depending upon where you enter this particular playthrough. The particular concept of it is in this gameplay session of parts 25 26, I'm basically 84 exits in. Now with some of these, it might be more of like 88, something like that, getting through these last couple stages here, but it's just within the pitch as far as saying, yeah, that's kind of a tricky power up to get right there. That one is just kind of the concept that Small Mario has a little bit more difficulty with it. If you do hold down the button, the jump button, a little bit heavier just within the pitch, yeah, it's just within the concept, but it's kind of one that takes a little bit more of just like standard fare. But I don't know, it's just this particular stage is kind of persnickety. It's just one of those type ones just being able to say here, it's kind of a toilsome type stage just in the fare behind it. You just look after here as far as being able to say that they purposely, I think, knew that this was going to be somewhat annoying just within those fares. It's not so much of like a bastard compared to that fortress stage from the last episode, but just kind of within the pitch as far as saying that it's kind of like it's just because the concept about this stage is just the pitch that there's a lot of pits. This is kind of the concept. I didn't really like that trajectory as much about it. They kind of have like these traps here as far as being able to say that you can't really look down to know where to jump, so you have to kind of trust just off of memory, which is strange because normally Nintendo wouldn't do that sort of thing. It just feels like a little bit of like a cheap tactic. I mean, I realize that this is like the last actual stage before the final boss. I mean, not counting the castle and the fortress stages. It's like the last normal kind of stage within some of those type pitches, but it's just the concept as far as saying here it is kind of a bastard and a half. But when you think of like stage 8-3 of Super Mario Brothers, that one's kind of a royal pain in the ass too. So it's just kind of the concept. I mean, I think there's some tactics in this that are a little bit cheap, and this is my last life here as far as this first going to go, so I'm going to get some power-ups. I think actually what I do is I get some power-ups and then I just go get a bunch of lives just to make sure, because I think I was saying I did get a game over in the previous episodes. It's kind of within the fair, but and you are going to need Yoshi to get the secret exit in that last stage just within those fares behind us, so it's kind of a concept to stock up. But yeah, those particular enemies that are like getting the rocks thrown at you as far as this pitch is going to go with like the shovels, it's kind of a concept as far as saying that this has that particular trial about it. But I don't know, I mean, this is relatively vanilla compared to, I mean, this is not as much like, you know, pound, like, you know, just get angry, throw a fit type aspect of just like break something type fair within the pitch, but it just kind of the concept that this kind of is just more huff and puff type stuff within the pitch behind. Just a little bit kind of get annoyed and just like what the hell's going on. It's just within the pitch. Like when I was saying in the last episode that these are like the blow your buzz stage, this one's not as much blow your buzz, but this is kind of like the concept that I would probably just you know, within the fare of like a standard fare, if you are having some of this type sessions, if you are at these particular stages with your pals and it's like a Friday night, it's just kind of the pitch of this. Just, you know, retain your cool, don't blow your high here, just in the pitch behind us. Concentrate on the concept. This is the last stage of the game. The final boss is not that annoying. Just in the pitch, it's kind of something to mellow out to and just kind of focus a little bit. It's kind of the fashion. It's just a good, steadier type fashion, just being able to do it. It's just within the tones. That's the concept there. But we're not actually going to tackle Castle 7 in this one. Makes me question what sort of devious tricks are going to be in that one. But I almost contemplated saving. I was kind of underneath the aspect of just trying to figure out what to do here just within the tone. But we're just going to kind of get some lives and then do the secret exit for that. So I'm just going to get Yoshi, and then that basically wraps it up. So I think the fashion behind it is concerned that this is like the final world. I mean, you just have to understand the pitch. I mean, it's really not too much, but I probably should. I think, truthfully, I probably should have gotten that Star Road that Star Road exit just like a lot sooner. Probably would have helped a lot further as far as those fares would have kind of happened. Just being able to say like just kind of within the affluence behind it, that I probably wouldn't have had to waste all that time going back to like the first Star Road that's in like the first world as far as this fair is going to have. It's just within the tone. I don't know, this is just kind of like, you know, the redundancy of this, I think, makes it kind of catchy just because most folks kind of snip this particular stuff out. So it's just some extra type fare of just getting some bonus content to seeing like stages. For the most part, I don't know how many people return to like some of these forest stages. Normally in a Let's Play, when you beat a stage, for the most part, especially in like the 2D games, the old ones that are like from the 80s, 90s, you just have to kind of say and stuff. This is within the pitch as far as saying that most people don't return to these stages unless there's like some secrets involved. But I just feel like it's just some extra type fair to kind of see some of this. Now, I don't know if I'm just going to go and frolic in some of these stages and just play them for no good reason, but at least it's within the pitch that you get to see some of these stages again. It's a good concept. This has that extra frolic type fair about it. But so yeah, I just stacked up a dozen lives there within those pitches, just within the aspect. Now, I realize that there are other stages. You know, obviously that's the most famous one to farm up some lives just within the pitch behind it. But I just would have to say there are some other ones in there if you can think about them. That's just the one that's the most notable to me. I'd have to say it was just a good pitch for some of that. So, typical type fare. Yeah, we basically just have to get this secret exit here, and then that basically takes care of it. There's just 2 more stages, and then the last 8 stages. There's basically just 10 more stages within the particular game as far as those aspects are going to go, and I'm just looking after it, just being able to kind of suppose and stuff just within the context of it. I want to say, like I said in the previous episode, that it was at about 84 exits, but I think it's 85. I don't know what it would particularly be right now, but it's just within the pitch as far as saying, so yeah, you do have to ditch Yoshi, and the thing about it is you want to ditch Yoshi in the lava there. You can't start the stage with Yoshi because you're going to get one up here, and if you have Yoshi and you make it up to this point, you can try to fly it up this particular part, but it just kind of constantly just easier to get this one here. So I just feel like that's the fair behind it, and then yeah, it's just kind of the pitch. So, but the key towards it is dealing with this stage's deviousness and some of these traps like this as far as those aspects kind of go, and not losing Yoshi to the lava and some of those type fairs within it. So it's just kind of, see, already I fucked up. That kind of pissed me off a bit, but I'm at least going to get the mid-exit and then try again. So, I mean, it really is doing it. I mean, it's just kind of concept as far as like just being able to say I was kind of really getting a little bit annoyed with this particular episode. But it's just, it results in some extra kind of bonus time here, so we just have to keep going back to Chocolate Land to get some of this. It's within the tone. But yeah, then Special, I don't remember Special Land that well, just to be able to talk about that within the fair behind it. I just have to kind of say and stuff. I'm going to go ahead and get another cape as well, because I think it'd particularly make things a lot easier. But yeah, the Special Land is me talking about that. I mean, I know that there's some particular stages, like there's one of which where you have to be like Blimp Mario or something like that. And it's kind of annoying. I mean, you have to really move pretty quickly. You have to kind of put the pedal to the metal with that particular one. There's just some ones in there. Those are the toughest stages in the game. The very last stage is not that difficult. It's just running through coins, some of that. But at least 5 or so of those particularly have some snafu-ness. I'm just questioning, because it's been a long time since I've attempted those. I mean, I think probably within a proper push and just the overall aspect of doing it, I should be able to get them done. But I just question, because I do think those stages are at least on par as tough or within the relative range as to like these stages in Bowser's Land. So it's just in the fair we're going to find out. But yeah, I would say probably by episode 30 we'll be in Special Land. I would probably say that there won't be more than 40 episodes in this, but there might be more than 33. So just within the pitch as far as saying, so we're just going to save and then we'll get towards that for next time just in the fair. But I am actually going to reset the Super Nintendo just to see how many exits we get after I save here. So just within the pitch, so you're going to see some extra stuff. But yeah. Just happens to be the pitch. But yeah, another concept is just the fact that these ghosts here, and just kind of the concept that when you try to fly up, sometimes they appear. I hate when that happens. So it makes me have to do the stage over, but just, once again, it just results in, that's another thing that just, you have to get a mushroom before you can, basically, like, get to, like, getting the cape power up, which is what, obviously, you need, but we're just gonna get 2 of these just to make sure, so. Yeah, it just kind of happens to be the pitch behind it. So yeah, it's just kind of the fair, just looking after us. That's the pitch, just getting this quickie out here, just within the fair behind that, just some extra type stuff. Just so I'd say, probably the next, I don't think the game is going to be beaten. I'm trying to figure out whether or not I'm going to beat the game in episode 28, because I think episode 27 is mostly going to consist of Castle 7. Maybe episode 28 will as well if I have a lot of deaths in it, but it's probably going to be like 10-11 minutes, something like that, somewhere in there. Just would have to say it was just in the pitch as far as saying, just depends about and how tough that particular stage is. But there's going to be a few more of these episodes. There's at least 2 more stages, like the standard game, and then the bonus extra stages. So this one the fair. But yeah, that's the pitch behind it. So subscribe for more fun, folks. Folks, thanks for watching. Have a wonderful night, and you'll see the exits. Never mind.